So, oh my gosh, it's so dark right now. But I'm wearing pink today. Cute little outfit. And then it even has a hood. It's really cute. The little curly parts. Alright, let's head out. My face is freezing cold right now. You good? Alright. I'm gonna take this off. I also thought this would be a great opportunity to like introduce myself because I literally didn't. So I'm Davi. Nice to meet you. This is a channel that is essentially about my artistry and my existence. I think like I just wanted a space that I can experiment because okay, so Secrets Leaked, I have a second channel. This is technically the second channel, but my other channel is mostly business oriented, and so I can't necessarily experiment with the more laid back aspect of things because I am strictly focused on one thing in that channel, which is mostly towards being business savvy. Whereas this channel is more so I just am full on focused on artistry. Because recently I found out I think I just have two different modalities in between being an artist and being a businesswoman. And I didn't think that that would be the case for me. It is very interesting, but also I think it's also humbling because I can't assume that I am fully this nor that. So this channel is essentially a visual diary that reflects my creative process and thinking as a creative. So a lot more production work rather than like having a focused like topic like my other channel. For me personally, and more apparently, it's literally a place where I don't have to worry, or I shouldn't worry about the product being the video, how it turns out, what it looks like mainly. I got this camera that I've been wanting to using, but I've been pretty anal about how I'm going to use it, when I'm going to use it, because I have anxiety about how it's gonna look compared to the other videos I've created not using this camera. I really do feel like this is a vlog style camera, whereas the cameras I use in my other video are literally for showcasing. And if I have like a certain, it's just more focused. There's just, this channel is really just about how I feel. And I know that that is crazy to think about, but how let me be more clear. How I feel as an artist. And I know that it doesn't have to be that big of a difference, but I feel like it really is, because I think as an artist, like, artists can be philosophers, they can be detail oriented, they could be it's just, you have different intentions as an artist creating art. It's kind of like the concept. I was just reading this book that I finished, Carry the One. So one of the characters in the book, they're an artist, and they have an art curator. They have different kinds of art curators and an assistant. But it's just different when you're creating artwork versus when you're curating artwork, when you are making it look nice, when you're trying to attract certain audiences and showcasing it in certain ways. It's just different versus when, like, you're the artist gathering your own emotional value and relationship with the work that you're creating. And so I guess in a way, here I'm the artist, and on my other channel I'm the curator, which is so interesting. That was so deep. But yeah, I just wanted to be able to practice being both, and I thought that it would be a lot more fair if I created different areas where I could express being different and playing different roles.
Absolutely.
I literally have jitters because I drank coffee and then now I just made a cake. I had coffee, made a cake, and now I'm sketching and I want to put it into Procreate, and I still want to go to the library so then I can actually do some like work, I guess you can call it. But yeah, so this is the little sketch I made. I'm gonna throw it into Procreate and work on it there. I was a little scared that it wasn't gonna be as good because I was just kind of scribbling, but it actually looks really, really nice. Yeah, I was watching Emma Chamberlain. And yes, I caught her lagging as I was watching her. So I just thought this was absolutely hilarious. Maybe I'll draw this and then send it to her in the mail. I don't think I would be bold enough to do that. That's actually, I'm scared about doing something like that, but yeah. Right.
I didn't get anything. I made it from scratch.
Hashtag your mom's cool. Dinner time. Yay! Mom made dinner. I made the dessert. Look at us. Teamwork. Hey, about to get into bed. Today was actually a really good day for me. I had a really nice time doing things that I planned on doing. I didn't exactly get to go to the library, but I did the things that I really wanted to do, which is work on my art stuff. And what was the other thing? I read. I've been reading a lot lately, and I think that's been helping me clear my mind, become more present and aware of my body and how I feel. It does wonders, really. How much I realize and how much I genuinely do feel about certain things, and I just feel like my awareness has increased and I've become a lot more grateful about what I have and what I can experience. Yeah, nicely I ended up finishing the day with a film called, I think, Cheaper by the Dozen. I completely underestimated the film. Now it's literally one of my favorite films ever. And it basically was just about this family who was a large family, family of 12 kids plus 2 adults. And I mean, they basically tackled nearly every dynamic you could have in a family. A kid out of the house, 2 teenagers, 1 teenager, a guy, 1 teenager, a girl, and a spectrum of kids, really, none of them quite the same. And it was just so interesting seeing how this film was kind of like what they did, tackling all of these different narratives, because all these kids are different. And at the end of the day, if you've seen the film, it was nice to see how I actually literally cried. I cried so hard towards the end of the movie, because it's actually really hard to see a family work really hard together and get through things and see that they're not that perfect. But at the end of the day, all of their problems kind of just go out the door, and they're there to tackle whatever they need to tackle. when it kind of came to their family. And it was none of this intense emotion or just fragility, and it was just genuine concern and voicing how they felt at the end of the day. I thought one of the coolest moments was when the dad told his older son, who was like around 19, 18 maybe, like the kid, he was like, okay, kind of a spoiler, but he was just like, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here anymore. We moved here because you wanted this and you wanted that, and you think you're doing the best for our family right now, but we've been trying to tell you forever that this isn't the best for us. This is what you think is the best for you. And the dad was like, you're not going, you're staying right here. I mean, as a parent does. And he was like, are you gonna make me? And the dad could have got mad and full on could have gone crazy. But he like took a second and just looked at his son and he said like, I love you and I want the best for you. And I'm scared that you're not gonna have the life that you want if you just walk out. And the kid just kind of like, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that kids are the same as their parents. And if the dad is capable of doing that just to be vague, then it was so understandable for the son to just look back at his dad and say, fine, but when I'm 19, I'm leaving. And you could look at that as some unresolved issue, but I think what happened there was that, you know, you have a little agreement, a little placeholder, so then later when both people have relaxed, they can come back and revisit that moment. And then, of course, later on, the son thought about what he said, because I honestly think that, like, the film kind of implied the fact that this family does have a dynamic in which they go over, you know, the actions that they took, and if they felt like they didn't handle it best, and they go back and they apologize and they talk it out. Which it actually ended up happening was that the son, just like immediately the next time he saw his dad, he was like, Dad, I'm so sorry, like, I don't know what that came from, it's just moving here. And then, you know, he was literally getting bullied by these other high schoolers. And I mean, this is a heavyset guy. Like, he could have did a number on these kids, but it's just trying to deal with the fact that your parents aren't giving you the attention that you need, but you also knowing that you're in an age where you shouldn't need your parents all the time, and like dealing with this back and forth of like not knowing what to do, not being old enough to just leave and do what you want to do and live your own life, but also supposed to be old enough to deal with your own challenges without your parents. It's just like, I think that's still a hard part in a kid's development, is that you still don't know what the world's like, and you're still counting on your parents to teach you, but at the same time, your parents started to fall into this space where they start living their own lives again, because their children have developed to a state where they're like, they can decently deal with their own stuff, I guess. Or this particular kid, because he's almost out of the house, and he was just angry and hurt because that he really needed his dad, and he wanted his dad to be happy, but it was just like, I have to take the decision to just protect me and mine because he's not here for me. And I think like when I started crying, honestly, was when one of the kids, spoiler again, sorry, he went missing, and they all went to go find him. And I was like crying because I saw all the kids, and you know how usually in the movies they have like everybody grab a flashlight and they go look for him. But it was so dope because you had like one kid, he loved his skateboard, and so he went on his skateboard to look for him. Another kid, they like sports, so they were running out in jerseys and like sports gear because kids just love wearing costumes and stuff. And then you have the older son with his car looking for him, and like you had all these different people who couldn't really see exactly from each other's perspective, but it was just like that that's my brother, like that's family. And it's really hard getting a group of people together nowadays. And I think that now more than ever, it's extremely impressive to see that people who can push away their own personal desires, and not even desires, but challenges and insecurities, to stick their neck out for others, or in this movie's case, rescue somebody. Like, it was crazy. Everybody was so mad at each other, but once they were just like, Mark is missing, Mark is missing, Mark is missing, everybody immediately got up, started talking to each other again, discussing things with each other again, and just started looking for him. And it was just like, I knew Mark was gonna go missing. His name is Mark. In the movie, this kid who I think is kind of like the middle child, and he's really quiet and reserved into himself, and he has his own little world. But again, it was just one of those moments where he really needed his parents, and I don't think his parents ever expected Mark to need them as much as the other kids did. And so they weren't really paying attention to him. And I already kind of knew this kid was going to go missing, and I am kind of a snob when it comes to certain films. Like, I'm like, oh, that's going to happen. But what I didn't expect was how... It's funny because the things that you wouldn't expect to surprise you. The simplest of things. Not some long dialogue about how families should stay together or whatever, trying to persuade you to get therapy or talk about psychological stuff. This movie simply didn't have that kind of a dialogue. It wasn't that kind of a runtime. It was just simply, you just got it. You get when you're mad at your parents for not being there when you need them. You get knowing that your parents have their own lives and they're just people who are older. And you get that you want to do things by yourself, but you still don't know a lot, and how that can be frightening because you're supposed to know enough to survive, but then you're like, maybe I can't do that by myself. Maybe I still need my parents. And at the end of the day, it's really just about being there. It's not about being perfect. It's not about knowing what to say all the time. It really is just about showing up. And at the end of the film, everybody showed up. It was even sick because the dad, he ended up leaving his job because it was his dream, but he said, he told the boss, the boss asked him, so you're giving up on your dream, huh? And the dad said, no, I'm just trying to move towards a different dream. And the kids were out on the field with the mom, with the little letter signs that you see out in the like seating areas at arenas and stuff. And it spelled out, we're Team Dad. because he was a coach for, I think, a high school football team, college team. It was a college team, college football team. The mom, too, she's awesome. She had a similar dream as her husband, but she ended up writing a book, I think, about her family, because there's like 12 kids. She wanted to pursue her dream, too, but it was just like, she just missed her family. And, just like the dad, it just took too much. And they needed each other. The dad even said something like, if I mess this up with my kids, this dream of being a college football coach, achieving anything else other than being a dad to my kids it's just never gonna feel like a win. It'll always feel like I'm trying to feel something that can never be filled, basically is what he said. I hope you all and your families are doing well. It can get really tough and stuff, but sometimes you just gotta show up, Show up for the people who've been trying to show up for you. If you got that kind of family, just keep being there. Night, at least for me.